Hey guys, it's Dan Langenberg from Long Mountain Family Banking. I want to tell you about a really important book that is essential when really trying to understand finance. And finance really doesn't have to be complicated. Building wealth isn't complicated. And this beautiful book called The Richest Man in Babylon is so important to understand. It's a very simple book. It's written 100 years ago, essentially 99 years ago. It was written in 1926 by George Clason. And he is basically writing a parable about a guy who's the richest man in Babylon, and he's teaching these other people how he became wealthy. And so George is really trying to communicate to his audience, which is anyone willing to read this book, how to build wealth. You can tell that he's really passionate about this, and he's trying to get the message out there through this story, through this parable, through this fictional account. So Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, essentially says that pretty much everyone has a cash flow. I represent it with a river. Okay, everyone's got some kind of river, and the thing is it doesn't matter if the river is wide or if the river is narrow. What's important, and what most people just don't do, is have the discipline to divert a little bit of that river over into true savings. And when I say true savings, I mean putting it somewhere that is not going to be lost, that it's going to now be totally secured and preserved, where it can now start growing. But that first step, he emphasizes so clearly. Maybe you've heard the phrase, pay yourself first. That's where that phrase came from, this book. And it's this idea of taking out of 10, take one and set it aside and do not touch it. And don't spend it, like have it preserved. And now you're going to spend some efforts making it grow. Okay. One thing I love about what I do at Long Mountain Family Banking is I'm teaching people, families, how they can truly have savings protected and preserved in their family. And now it can grow. Proverbs 13:11 says, he who gathers little by little makes it grow. It's the same concept, but it has to be done. It takes a little bit of discipline, time, and patience. And so anyone can do this and essentially be wealthy, because that's what he's trying to communicate here. It doesn't matter how much money you make. That's not really the important thing. The important thing to actually building wealth is that you separate some of that money. And what like the whole life insurance policies that I'm building do is it's like, I love it so much because it's this great vehicle that when you put your premium into a policy is now secured and is going to grow for your entire life and be truly protected and stay within your family. So get a hold of this book. Please understand that building wealth starts with you, and it starts with having the commitment to putting some money aside into some kind of savings vehicle where it's not going to be spent. And a lot of people will have savings, but they build it up over time. But then they dive into their savings, whether it's for an emergency or something else, because life happens, right? And so then it's just a long-term expense at that point. It's not true savings. And so in order to really build wealth, you've got to separate that out and divert that flow of income, even if it's a little bit. Like in this book, he's just talking about your 10 coins, take that one coin and separate it out to the side and have that be your little treasure trove that's going to have children and grow. Okay. And so it's very simple concepts, but you and I both know that not a lot of people do this. And if you really want to learn how to become wealthy and leave an inheritance to your children and to your children's children, you have to learn about these principles and have the discipline to follow through. So thanks for listening. I hope you can get your hands on this book and that you can learn more about how to make your family more profitable for the future. Thanks.